Today we are going to be talking about the new moon that happens on August 16th of 2023. And it is a very impactful new moon. Now remember, the new moon is what plants the seeds for what's going to happen for the next 2 weeks until we have the full moon. And then everything that the seeds planted will come to fruition at the full moon. So this new moon happens to occur in Cancer. We have the sun and the moon there in the nakshatra of Devastation, and the ascendant is also there as well. So the rising sign is Cancer. And Cancer is all about your home and your security, your homeland, and your sense of protection and feeling comfortable. And I'm afraid that right now, most people are not really feeling very comfortable. There's been a lot of changes that are happening within our government and within the world in and of itself. And also we've had a natural disaster happening here in the United States, in Hawaii, Maui. And I will be explaining that in just a minute, why that happened. Ashlesha is the nakshatra that the moon and the sun are in. And it's very interesting because the ascendant, is also in Ashlesha. And Ashlesha its symbol is the snake. And what Ashlesha represents, if you think about a snake, what is a snake? Well, they have piercing eyes so they can look through and into the deep depths of things. But they also have kind of a sneaky nature because they slither around. And so this is kind of representative of what is going on in the nation today, and not only in the United States, but also in the world, because remember, this does impact the world as well. So what we were having, the sun represents the governments and our leaders, and the moon represents our emotions and the masses and how we feel about things in mundane astrology, which is what I'm doing right now. And what we are seeing is a lot of this deceit going on with our government, and the deeper they dig the hole, the more we uncover, and the more, shall we say, sneaky and shady they become as things start being revealed about what's really going on. So we are going to see more and more of that continuing as more and more things are being uncovered that we have not been aware of, but we are now being made aware of all these things that are going on. And why is that happening? So that we can change it. That's why. And so this is like the storm before the calm, and things will calm down after a while. But right now, this is the time for everything to be uncovered. The interesting thing about the sun and the moon in Ashlesha for this particular new moon is that they are Gandanta. And what this means is when the planets move from a water sign into a fire sign, and it's the last 3 degrees of the water sign going into the fire sign in the first 3 degrees of the fire sign. What this represents when planets become Gandanta is you have a sense of drowning, like you're out of control. And this can be literally or figuratively. And unfortunately, in this case, we have it not only literally because we are feeling like we have no real sense of security or protection. Because what we are finding right now is that the people or the institutions that we thought we could depend on to protect us and to keep us safe, we are finding out we can no longer depend on them to do that. That was an indication of it being done figuratively. Now we also have an indication of it being done literally, actually with what happened in Maui. Because with the hurricane that came through, there were a lot of people who perished with that hurricane, and they drowned. So what I want to do right now is take a moment and send our thoughts and prayers to everybody in Maui. May they have a speedy recovery from the situation, and may they find some peace and some healing soon. And one of the reasons why I'm wearing this shirt today is because the color is turquoise. And I chose it for a reason, because turquoise actually is the color for harmony, order, and justice. So I wish that for them and everybody else who has suffered from a natural disaster. And we're seeing more of these natural disasters because of the planetary configurations that are happening right now. We have Uranus, which causes sudden, unexpected events, and it is actually squaring the sun and moon right now, and that caused the unexpected event with the hurricane that caused the fires in Maui. And I'm going to be doing a video on global warming and what that's all about. And I will be talking about how the astrology can affect the weather patterns. And that's going to be my next video. So I'm not going to get into a lot of that right now. But that is what caused the hurricanes that then caused the fires. We're going to be seeing more, unfortunately, more of this, of these natural disasters as time goes on because of the planetary configurations. So I don't mean to scare you, just be aware, that's all. And then we need to be looking at Venus, which is also a very important planet, and it is retrograde, and it is with the sun and the moon in Ashlesha as well, in Cancer, the sign of Cancer. And Venus being retrograde causes issues with relationships and with our love and our feelings about relationships, and it brings up issues from the past, whether it's past relationships or issues from past relationships that we need to deal with now. So we're seeing a lot of that going on as well. And with that going on, then we also have Venus being combust because it's with the sun. So and what this means is that Venus is being burned up, shall we say. So those energies, that love energy is being burned up. So being retrograde is one thing, the energy is kind of wacky there, but then for it to be combust, where the energy of Venus is being burned up, we are seeing our relationship with our government definitely changing. We're beginning to question it and wonder what is going on. And the other interesting thing about this too is that when Venus is combust the sun, we have a lot more hot temperatures, and we are experiencing that throughout the country. And the last time this happened was in 2015 in this exact position. And if you think back in 2015, you'll recall all the issues that Greece was having with their government and with their finances. And it was a hot period of time with accidents and some natural disasters and things like that. So Venus combusts the sun can bring that, and that is what is happening now. So we also have, with this new moon, we have Mars and Mercury in Leo. And Leo is all about, again, our leaderships. And this Mars-Mercury combination brings us the ability to dive deep and to see what is going on within our government. So we have Mercury in the nakshatra of Purva Falguni, and Mars is in the nakshatra of Uttara Falguni, and they are both in the 5th house, which represents entertainment. And so with this Mars-Mercury combination, you are seeing the strikes with the entertainment industry, with the writers and the actors. And it's even gotten pervasive into where the people who do reality shows are now starting to strike as well. And what it's doing is basically cleaning up the entertainment industry. And we know that is not really, actually, let's just say that industry really does need to be cleaned up, because there's a lot of things that go on. I used to be an actress, and I used to be in LA, and I did some films and television, and I can attest to the fact that not everything is above board. The actors aren't always treated with respect and in the best manner, and the writers as well. So it's time for them to stand up for themselves. And this is going to continue, because even though Mars is going to move in a few days, on the 18th actually, into Virgo, Still, Mercury is going to go retrograde, and that is going to break down communications with the strike. So I continue to see that happening for quite some time before they can finally come to a resolution. It won't be until after Mercury finishes its retrograde cycle and goes back direct that then they will find some solutions to their issues. But this is also indicative of the type of communications that we are having with our government as well. So, and Saturn is aspecting that. So it's kind of like a cat and mouse thing that I was talking about in previous videos. And so we have the truth is coming out, but the people who don't want the truth to come out are trying more and more ways, and they're even getting to the point where they're doing illegal things to cover their tracks. So they're just weaving this great big web that is eventually of corruption that is eventually going to implode on them. And that's the other thing about the Ashleisha people too. This new moon being all about Ashleisha is the sneakiness with the snake does go on for a while, but in the end, it ends up hurting more itself than the people that it offends. So this is kind of like a self-destructive type of behavior, and that's what's being demonstrated on a lot of levels. Then we also have Neptune, who is in a quincunx with this Mercury, Mars, and that is going to cause these issues that are behind the scenes, because remember with Neptune, you have rose-colored glasses on, so you can't always see things that are happening very clearly. And so there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we are unaware of and that we're not seeing clearly. And so there's confusion around it, and we're not really sure how we feel about it. And that's what's kind of the atmosphere, kind of the collective consciousness where they're at. They don't feel safe. They don't feel secure. They feel confused. They feel betrayed. How could this happen to us? You know, we trusted these institutions to take care of us and protect us, and now we're finding out that they're not doing that at all. And so there's a lot of that there. But it is going to change. It will change. And the interesting thing is, though, that this is planting the seed. Actually, there is going to be another full moon at the end of August, which I'll be doing a video about that later. But all of this is setting the stage for events that are going to be happening in September. And September is going to be a pivotal month. I've been looking at the astrology, and there is a lot happening in that month. And that is where everything is finally going to come to a head. And I think we are going to see some changes in leadership. I think there is going to be some impactful, very impactful events happening in the United States. And so you will want to stay tuned to hear what that's going to be. And all I can say is right now is not to worry, but take care of yourself. Make sure that you are eating properly. You're taking care of your health. Take your nutritional supplements if you do that to build up your immune system. I know people are talking about there's a possibility of another pandemic or the threat of a pandemic during that time. And there could be, but my take is on it is that I think the issues and around COVID, there's going to be fallout from that. And that's really what I'm seeing with this. But it's a stressful time. We're going through a fourth turning. We're kind of going through the winter. What that is a winter. But what comes out of the winter is the spring. And what I am seeing is that we are going to start to see the light in March, beginning of March of next year. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Venus right now, as I've been talking about, Venus is very important because he's been retrograde and he's going to be going in and out of this retrograde cycle for a few months. And what he is doing is actually going from an evening star into a morning star. And when that happens, it is very impactful for the leadership of nations. They can suffer extreme loss personally as well as with their country. And the people do not feel comfortable. They don't feel secure. They feel anxious during this time. And so this is all setting the stage for that. We are seeing the truth come out about our world leaders, and we're not liking it. And we want justice. And so this is what Venus, going from an evening star to a morning star, indicates. He basically is cleaning things up. So there is hope in the future. We just have to get through this. And like they say, it's always darkest before the dawn. So that's what we're going through right now. So just keep focused on your health, connect with your higher power, and look at the overall big picture of things. And don't get too bogged down in the minutia, in all the details, because that can just bring you down. Take a break from the news. I've said that before, because it's not really going to help you. It'll just get you upset. And take care of yourself. Do something fun. Get your family together, get your friends together. Do something fun so that you can have a break from all this and connect with your higher power. This is a good time to do that. And this is what this energy, this is where you find the opportunities in this kind of energy. And that's one of the reasons why we go through it, so that we do connect back to what really matters. And that is our higher power, whatever that means for you. So there you have it. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and click all notifications so that you don't miss any videos that I do. And make sure you comment too. I enjoy your comments and I do reply. So be sure to do that. And then check me out at my website, www.michellebond007.com. And while you're there, sign up for my free newsletter so that you can see what the planetary configurations mean for your sign every month, as well as any other news. And you will always be informed if you do that. And you know what? Book an appointment. I help you by showing you the cards that life dealt you when you were born, so that you can learn what they are. You can strategically play them, because the more strategically you play those cards, the more successful you will be. So check me out, www.michellebond007.com. Be inspired, be courageous, be empowered, and I will see you next time.